Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's RJ, and today we'll be taking a look at the Medicos Super Action Statue Diamond is Unbreakable Jotaro Kujo. So for articulation this should go without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway, cause this is obviously not a figure arts figure. It even says it on the box for those of you not too bright folks. But you will notice a very obvious difference in articulation. For instance, the joint setup is kinda sorta similar to a Bandai Tamashii Nations figure, but it's not. The head itself is attached on a ball joint so you can get it to rotate nice and rotation-like. As you can see, the joint is sculpted directly into the neck instead of just being a ball peg that attaches to the neck on a pin. So the head can look up and down. Regular vanilla ball joint at the base of the neck. Once again, as you can see, is attached to a stand. We'll get to that later. For the shoulders, we just have a regular swivel. And instead of attaching to the body at a ball joint, there's just a simple hinge. A little disappointing, but oh well. Double hinged elbows. Nice and expressive. The wrist's attached at another hinge, but due to the figure's sculpt, you're not going to get a whole lot out of it, but it can swivel that way. Due to the fact that Jotaro is wearing an overcoat, can't really move the figure's torso back very far, but there is a ball joint there. I initially thought there was a swivel at this point. There is not. Ball jointed hips. Kinda sorta swivel at this point, but it's very tight. Double jointed knees, very nice. Hinge, as well as a little bit of turning action at the ankles. And there's this piece of the sculpt that covers the joint up. Very loose toe hinge, but you can get some nice use out of it. And finally, there's a hinge for the back of the coat. Moving on to detail, while the articulation certainly doesn't shine out in the Bandai figures, the sculpt is a completely different story. For the hat, I have him with his regular packaged hat. I normally display him with the other one, but for the sake of professionalism, here's the vanilla one. As you can see, there's 3 anchors. The paint's not great, but it's on there. There's the palm emblem from his Part 3 hat. The hat overall has a very nice gold trim. As you can see, his hair is poking out of the back as it should. For his face, very nice, not broken. You can read time just great. Another palm emblem on his neck. As you can see, it's not painted correctly, but oh well. Here you can see his vest with various, I don't know what to call that, but it's a plus sign in a circle. It's a very nice purple color. Here you can see some kind of strap going down his torso. He's wearing the tightest turtleneck ever known to humankind. And as you can see, he's got a very nice white color scheme. Obviously his undershirt is black. His cuff things, I'm not clothes, are purple and yellowish green, somewhere in between. He's got 2 belts, because reasons. One of them's not even looped through. Did you dress yourself this morning, Jotaro? I thought you were an adult. Another palm on this little pouch, and it's attached on some soft plastic, so it's got some give. There's some detailing on his pant legs. Very nice wrinkling for the lower part of his pants. Purple and black shoes with some golden accenting. Not a whole lot on the back, but there is some very nice detailing and paint shading for the coat. Oh, I didn't peg his hat in correctly. Oh well, I'm gonna take it off and replace it with the better one after I finish this segment. Moving on to accessories, we got the mainstay of the Medicos Super Action statue line. I'm sure the reason they do this is because, as you can see... Wow, you're gonna just do this to me right here. Anyway, typically these figures have problems standing, so you can just slot it in nice and snug, and there you go. You got a nice, intrusive, clear stand. Obviously these are very nice for more dynamic poses, but I'd prefer being able to put my figure in a more vanilla pose without the use of a stand, but oh well. Bandai could certainly be taking pages from Medicos' book, seeing as they don't include stands with pretty much anything. Also included with everyone's favorite marine biologist is this alternate hat, which I personally prefer. I just think the design looks nicer. The dolphin and this weird wigging out sun just personally fit the design better than Anchors and Palm, which is already represented nicely, seeing as it appears about 5,000 other times on his outfit. Comes with this angry face, kinda maybe angry. His eyebrows and eyes look almost identical to the regular one, but he's gritting his teeth. Here we have Jotaro's backpack from the rat hunting chapters. As you can see, it's got some very nicely detailed stitching. One of the straps is sculpted a little bit higher up, so you can just have it resting on the figure. And finally, we have an assortment of hands, and I'd like to do this in pairs, but as you can see, Medicos is weird with how they do hands. It's got 5 right hands and 2 left. The only actual pair are used for gripping the brim of the hat, as I will now demonstrate. It's not rocket science, friends. The other pair is simply to put into the pockets of his coat, which I will also demonstrate. As you can see, there's a peg right here. And you simply slot it in. It's gone now, you'll never see it again. Wow, I fucked that one up. Finally, we have the pointing hand, which is used for Jotaro's signature pose. This last hand here is just repurposed from Josuke, so I'm not even going to touch on it, but he's doing this, or this, or he's making shadow puppets, and it's a lobster. Finally, for packaging, we have the box. It's in this very nice Harlequin pattern. As you can see on the side, it says Jotaro Kujo in English, and I presume Japanese. We have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in a very nice gradient pink and red. This gold lettering right here, I can only assume says Medicos. Turning it to the side, you have a picture of the prototype and JoJo, just in case you forgot. On the side, you have various pictures of the prototype, and you got the differences between the hats and the heads. That's my job. I don't like you encroaching on my territory, cardboard box. On the other side, you have the same exact picture. On the bottom, you have some upside down Japanese text, because I don't know how to hold cardboard boxes. On the top, you have the same golden logo and JoJo again. And overall, it's a cardboard box. So overall, for fans of the character like myself, this is an excellent representation of Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. That was a mouthful. Despite the limited articulation, the sculpt and paint work almost make up for it, because the paint is a little bit sloppy in some areas. However, the sculpt is excellent, the articulation is passable, and the accessories are very neat.